la mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs a des reflets d'argent, la mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie.
It was already rebuilt once, so I'm not in the mood to rebuild it again. So I got a new one. This particular model is pretty hard to find for a nanny. We got the last one in the warehouse in the US, so I don't have to order it from France. Yes, it's a Jabsco. No, Jabsco doesn't make them and sell them to the public. They're definitely an OEM to nanny only, and they're in France. So I can't get them from Jabsco. And we're using a hose that has a preformed bend in it because it's very, very close to our pulleys, and the water hose comes off here. It's less than a 1/4 inch from the pulleys. And so I've got something that's going to turn it around. We're going to put this pump with the bend in it this way so it clears the pulleys better. Anyway, that's what we're up to. We're going to replace this and we're going to try this hose. If not, we're going to find something else with a 90-degree bend in it. This is going to release a lot of water. We need something to tap in there. One of the scrapers.
That'd be in the brown bag, probably.
Great. They didn't put a gasket on there. Okay, so now we have to clean that off. Look at this. It just barely misses this right here. No matter what direction you go.
Yeah. That Balmar was probably never in the core design.
It was not. Unless we can re-drill new holes that way. You happy with it? Okay. Okay, stop. We're getting stuff on there. Get some tape. Okay, now let's see if it's close enough.
Yep. Oh, it didn't quite fit this time. Concept works. So we're just going to wallow out some of the holes to get it just a little bit closer. Not gonna work?
Nope. Hello guys, here's our problem. If you notice, we have two pulleys. This one is for the Balmar that's charging the house batteries. This one is for the starter. That was added. It was not part of factory. The raw water pump originally went this way. So the hoses went directly off to one side. And the problem is that the lower hose, there's no clearance for that fan belt. So what we're doing is we're rotating the pump a little bit upwards. So normally it came just across and there's no clearance between this hose and the pulley right here. So what we wanted to do was alter the design of this and rotate it up just a little bit like that. That gives us more clearance down here. Gives us about 3/4 of an inch, which is enough. To do that, we had to drill different holes right in here. And that's what we were doing, is drilling the holes. And it was hard to get them lined up exactly right, so we had to wallow them out just a little bit in one direction so that we could get all 4 of these screws in. And so now we're gonna take the tape off, which we put on there to prevent the bronze dust from our drilling and sanding and filing from getting into the mechanism. So now we're gonna pull that off, we're gonna mount it, and we're gonna screw it down tight. Can you hold it up for me? Getting these started is really tough. Nothing wants to fit just right.
Everything's hooked up?
Yep.
Well, aside from hose clamps.
Yeah, getting this little Allen back in there is a real pain in the rear. We had one Allen screw that was short, and it had been too short, and the old screw that we pulled out was damaged. When we went to put the new screw in, we found out that it was actually stripped. And so we went with a longer screw that would go farther in. I used to have a bag of them, I don't know where it is, so I stole one off of this raw water strainer. These are also 6 millimeters, and it was just a tiny bit bigger, like 3/16 bigger in a metric size, but it allowed me to get to really good threads, and it grabbed hard and it fit.
Well, now I've just got to hook up hoses and put the floor in.
Yep, and the clearance is a lot better. I can just tell. It's like I've got a whole inch. It's marvelous.
Well, everything's back together.
So the idea to rotate the raw water pump just a little bit, if this is the front of the engine, the pulley's down here, we rotated just a little bit.
That worked in giving us more clearance, so we had to make more holes in the actual.
Yeah, we had to cut more holes here. But now we can take this old one and we can rebuild it again. Okay, good night, folks.
Does that avoid the pulley?
Not really.
Well, no, there's no explicit Allens on the new one. Why did they use Allens?